Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Doc, you want to button this up? Because I'm starting to get... I want to talk about something a little bit more, I don't know, lively. We've got some presidential politics. On the Republican side, some new developments that I think we'll have a good laugh at. So what do you want to button this up?
Well, yeah, a couple of things. And this is going to seem like a shot, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. My brother Joe points out, well, listen, if we're supposed to be... If we're not based on a Judeo-Christian basis.
Oh no, Joe! Come on.
Then what are we doing over there?
I don't know.
Number two, I don't think the Syrian refugee thing. I will tell you, we've all made this mess. But it's not in our bailiwick, and we really don't have any vested interest over there with this fight. We don't have an ally in this, right? We have no allies in this fight, right? ISIS is brewing. They've asked us for help. And all I can think about is Dien Bien Phu. That's all I can think about is we got involved in Vietnam. It turned into a disaster because of France. And the bottom line is I see this very same thing happening, except instead of the Chinese getting involved, it's the Russians getting involved. And they have much more accurate missiles than the Chinese did. So I think the best approach for this is to figure out how we're going to vet people coming over because America is built on refugees. I mean, I don't know too many people that have ancestry way back 500 years, 1,000 years, like the people in Syria and Europe do. I think that's a good stopping point there. We don't have that.
Yeah, let's move on.
Now, one of the things I want to mention is Blake has often characterized himself as a collectivist. Right? You've said that a couple of times. So what I'm guessing is, talking about the football game between Iowa and Iowa State.
Right.
Don't you think that Iowa should be giving some of its talent over to Iowa State? I mean, as a collectivist, that's what you would do. And especially you and I. They should both be giving some of their higher-end talent to you and I, so it's all even. It's redistribution of talent.
I would argue that I am a selective collectivist. And that when it
comes to somebody else, you want to redistribute it.
When it comes to Iowa football, I am as fascist and corporatist as Benito Mussolini himself, my friend. Gather all for my people, as strong as possible. I don't care about the rest of you. Well,
and there you have it from a collectivist mouth. What's good for me is good for me, and what's good for you is still good for me.
That's right.
So.
That's right. When as it relates to Iowa football, if you can't compartmentalize that, I don't know.
Well, see, and that's the problem. Is it just starts out small, then pretty soon you're quoting Khrushchev. You know, we're all equal, just some are more equal than others.
Well, that wasn't Khrushchev. That was that was Orwell.
I think that was Khrushchev.
No. That was from Animal House. But go ahead.
It was from Animal House. Yeah. All right. Well,
maybe the Khrushchev character, although Khrushchev didn't exist in Animal House at that point.
No, he didn't. But. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about presidential politics. Man, what a shakeup. I mean...
Rick Perry's out, R.I.P.
Rick Perry is out, and I think, I think there's a lot of reasons. I think the number one reason is both
money. Sorry.
No, he had $20 million in a PAC. But part of the problem is you can clock his decline, he and Fiorina, to attacks on Trump.
Fiorina's on the rise, man.
She is now, but she took a big hit and then was able to come back.
The debate saved her.
Yes, she did a good job.
She did great. She did great in the debate, and now she's got those conservative women lining up behind her because what did Trump say now? He said she doesn't look at her face. She doesn't have the face of a president, and she has taken that and running with it. And I think she's pretty effective.
Well, here's the thing. I think she's an attractive woman. Don't you?
Well, I don't know that makes as much of
a
difference.
What do you think, Maddie? I mean, she doesn't know.
Yeah. Well, here's the question though. And this is actually okay.
Well, if Carly doesn't have a face for the president, then Hillary doesn't. I don't know why he didn't take that shot.
That's not the point. This is what I'm sort of been toying with since he said that. Because he seems to just, kind of take these shots for no reason. Honestly, for no reason. There's no reason to call Jeb Bush a low-energy guy. There's no reason to talk about how dumb Rick Perry is personally or to give out Lindsey Graham's phone number except to be a jackass. Sorry, Mac. But that's, that I think that one, I get away with that one because that's how he's acting. He's acting like an adolescent bully. And I wonder, Doc, if eventually, if his intent, if barring a sincere effort to become a presidential candidate that can win the White House, if what he's actually trying to do is to create a little sympathy. Oh, you know what? Quit piling on Jeb Bush. I like Carly Fiorina's face. Rick Perry's not so. You know what, Donald? Leave those folks alone. Now it's not borne out by the poll numbers, but because they've only been polling Republicans, as we all know, Republicans has no sympathy or empathy for anybody. But,
that's not true at all.
But I wonder
we're
if he's
like
doing
collectivists.
I wonder if he's doing something along those lines where he's just trying to kind of he's saying as many outrageous things as possible so that the constituency starts to think, you should stop being so mean to our people.
Well, I don't. Well, that could be.
I needed a chuckle.
Yes, but I will tell you. Here's the thing. Here's the surprising thing. Here's Ben Carson on the outside, just running his own campaign. He really doesn't attack anybody. He just kind of says what's on his mind, but he's not bombastic. And here he is, tied or ahead of Trump in several states. Now, part of the thing is,
he's getting up to like in the high 20s in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. And, I was talking to Ryan Rhodes, his Iowa person, and he really does credit two things. One, Dr. Carson is trying to put together people that aren't necessarily high profile, like Sam Clovis is high profile. Ryan Rhodes is not, but this guy knows a lot of people and can organize well. And that's what he's doing. He's taking grassroots people with good organizational skills and gradually building. And I think he's getting some momentum. The other thing I noticed, because I do read liberal rags on a regular basis, people started taking Trump seriously, and then the attack started. And so yesterday, a lot of the polls came out, showed Ben Carson was pulling up or getting ahead. Suddenly, everybody's after Ben Carson. That's what happens. And I think the person who's going to benefit the most from all this going on is Jeb Bush, because he's not out in front. He's still raising hundreds of millions of dollars, and nobody's taking a shot at him. And I think that he's going to be the one that's going to benefit the most. I think the rest of these people at some point, especially after the Iowa caucus, are going to realize, listen, we can't keep doing this.
Well, Jeb's the only one that's been able to take shots at Donald Trump without it kind of blowing up in his face.
Well, he took a couple of shots, and his polls fell, and then he backed off. And then his campaign said, listen, you have to remain relevant. So he took a couple more shots, and his numbers that he just gained fell again. So attacking Donald Trump is going to be good. It's just like Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton attacked Bernie, sure, her numbers would plummet too, because the powers that be don't understand exactly how powerful this message of we're tired of being foot soldiers for you clowns is resonating with everybody. Now, we're going to be back after the break. Are we going to continue with this? Or are we going to go with, all right. Well, after the break, we'll continue with our presidential rundown. And what was the last thing we were going to talk about?
More presidential rundown.
Oh, well, more and more presidential rundown. I'm sure there's something else we were supposed to talk about. We'll be back right after this break. Oh, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We want to thank all of our sponsors, Petrosian Associates, Lubinas Law Firm, Halo Capital, Des Moines Interest Rates, Des Moines Anesthesia PC at 515-574-6442. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to check us out at Doc and Lefty. The good rabbi was gracious enough to let us use one of his articles as one of our blogs.
And the good rabbi is in our thoughts tonight as well.
You bet. So
as he's sitting, I think I saw that he's sitting Shiva for his mother at the temple tonight and tomorrow night.
All right.
So we certainly have condolences for that.
We'll be back right after this break.